Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're exploring Lincoln wheat penny coins, classic American cents known for their iconic wheat design on the back. These coins were made decades ago, and while many are still easy to find, some are rare and highly sought after by collectors. Let's take a look at what makes these old pennies special and which ones might be hiding serious value. First up, the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny coin without a mint mark stands as a piece of American numismatic history from the mid-20th century and reflects a time of economic growth and change in the United States. This particular coin was minted in Philadelphia, which traditionally did not use a mint mark for its Lincoln cents. The 1958 wheat penny was the last year the United States Mint produced the wheat ear reverse design before switching in 1959 to the Lincoln Memorial reverse. As such, this coin marks the conclusion of a long and iconic chapter in American coinage design history and remains a favorite among collectors, both casual and serious. Obverse of the coin features the right-facing profile of President Abraham Lincoln with the date of issue and other standard inscriptions surrounding the portrait. The reverse side displays two stylized wheat stalks along the edges, framing the denomination and the inscription of the country. This wheat design symbolizes agricultural strength and national prosperity and was part of the original coin design created by Victor David Brenner in 1909 to honor the centennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design remained largely unchanged until 1958, when it was officially replaced. This coin had a high mintage and is considered common in the broader category of wheat pennies. Its significance lies in the fact that it represents the end of an era. Over 250 million of these coins were struck at the Philadelphia Mint, making them readily available at the time, and even today, many examples exist in varying conditions. However, not all coins from this mintage have survived in pristine form. This specific coin being described is said to be in rusty condition, which means it has been affected by environmental factors. Over timorist on a copper coin, like the Lincoln wheat penny, is often the result of prolonged exposure to moisture, air, or poor storage conditions. When copper oxidizes, it can develop a surface that looks reddish-brown or even greenish in some areas. While this rusting process can diminish a coin's visual appeal and numismatic value, can also give each piece a unique character and serve as a physical representation of its age and journey through history. A coin in rusty condition is generally not considered high grade by collectors, but it can still hold educational or sentimental value, particularly for those interested in coin preservation and metal behavior over time. At 1958 Lincoln wheat penny holds importance not just for its age or appearance, but also for its role in completing many collectors' sets. Collectors who aim to gather all Lincoln wheat pennies from 1909 to 1958 often view this final year coin as an essential piece. Even when a coin is in rusty or worn condition, it may still serve a meaningful role as a filler coin until a better specimen can be found. Moreover, the variety in condition among these coins gives collectors and historians a broad perspective on how coins age and how their environments impact their physical properties. Another aspect of interest for collectors is the possibility of errors and varieties. While the 1958 Lincoln cent from Philadelphia is typically straightforward and well struck, there are known varieties, such as double die obverse errors from the 1958 Denver Mint. However, these are rare, and the Philadelphia version without a mint mark is not generally associated with major errors. Still, examining each coin closely under magnification can offer insights into the die process and small irregularities that may set one coin apart from another. Coin's historical backdrop adds further depth to its meaning. In 1958, the United States was in the midst of post-war prosperity. Suburbanization was growing, new technologies were emerging, and the space race was beginning to intensify. People used coins like the Lincoln wheat penny for everyday purchases, and its widespread circulation meant that it was handled by countless individuals across the country. The simple act of passing this penny from hand to hand was a part of daily life, from buying a loaf of bread to riding the bus or using a payphone. When we examine a circulated and rusty 1958 penny today, we can imagine the countless transactions it was part of and the stories it might carry. From a practical standpoint, rusty coins can be difficult to evaluate in terms of condition and grading. The surface oxidation may obscure fine details, such as the hair texture on Lincoln's portrait or the subtle lines of the wheat ears on the reverse. Despite this, numismatists can often still determine general features like strike strength, rim integrity, and any major post-mint damage. While the coin in rusty condition may not attract those looking for investment-grade pieces, it still appeals to those who appreciate coins as artifacts of a bygone era. Additionally, rusty coins are often used for educational purposes in classrooms and workshops. They can be used to teach students about oxidation, metal composition, and coin conservation techniques. They can also help newer collectors learn how to handle and identify different types of wear damage and patina without the pressure of managing more expensive high-grade specimens. This makes coins like a rusty 1958 wheat penny not only collectible, but also useful as learning tools. Next up we have the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark is a notable coin from the mid-20th century and part of a long-running and beloved series of American cents. This coin was minted in Philadelphia, as indicated by the absence of a mint mark, which was a standard practice for coins struck at the Philadelphia Mint during that era. The Lincoln wheat penny series ran from 1909 to 1958 and remains one of the most collected and studied coin series in United States numismatic history. The 1947 issue sits in the post-World War period, a time when the United States was transitioning from wartime production back to peacetime industry and rebuilding a stable and growing economy. The obverse of the 1947 Lincoln wheat penny features the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln facing right. This portrait was designed by Victor David Brenner and first introduced in 1909 to mark the centennial of Lincoln's birth. It was the first time a real person was depicted on a regular issue United States coin, which was a major departure from earlier designs that used symbolic imagery. The obverse also includes the motto of the nation, the word liberty, and the year of minting. The reverse displays two stylized wheat ears curving along the left and right edges, which is why the coin is commonly referred to as a wheat penny. The inscriptions include the denomination and the name of the country. The coin in question is described as having a red shade, which is a term often used in coin collecting to refer to the natural color that copper coins exhibit when they are in relatively better condition and have not been overly tarnished or darkened by oxidation. A red shade on a Lincoln penny usually suggests that the coin has retained much of its original mint luster, or at least some of the brilliance that newly struck copper coins display. This can make the coin more attractive visually and can sometimes contribute positively to its desirability among collectors, although other factors, such as wear and detail clarity, are equally important in determining a coin's overall appeal. Despite being a common coin in terms of mintage, with over 190 million struck at the Philadelphia Mint in 1947, each example tells its own unique story. A red-shaded 1947 penny that has circulated lightly or been well preserved over the decades carries with it both historical context and numismatic interest. The late 1940s were a period of recovery and adjustment for Americans who were returning to civilian life after the war, re-entering the workforce and adapting to new economic realities. Everyday items like this penny were a part of that era's transactions, found in pockets, cash registers, banks, and shops. Backhouse. The 1947 penny is relatively plentiful. It is not considered rare. However, coins in especially good condition, such as those that still exhibit red or red-brown coloration, can be more sought after than those with darker tones or heavy wear. Collectors often classify Lincoln pennies based on their color categories, which include red, red-brown, and brown. A coin with a red shade suggests minimal oxidation, which is significant for a coin of this age. That kind of preservation may indicate Storage in a dry, stable environment or careful handling by previous owners. Even though the 1947 wheat penny is common, it remains a valuable educational tool and collector's item, especially for beginners or those building a year set of Lincoln. Since its design is rich in symbolism and history and serves as an accessible entry point into the world of coin collecting. Additionally, the coin can be appreciated not just for its age or condition, but also for its role in everyday American life. During a time of great transformation, when handling or observing a 1947 red-shaded penny, one can reflect on the many hands it may have passed through over the decades and the wide array of goods and services it may have helped purchase. That condition plays a central role in a coin's collectability, and a red-shaded example can indicate an early stage of circulation or careful storage. Even if the coin shows some signs of wear, such as slight loss of detail on Lincoln's hair or the wheat stalks on the reverse, the retention of original copper color can be a favorable trait. Red copper coins are often more visually striking and are appreciated for their natural beauty. This red tone may also highlight the raised design elements, making the features of the coin stand out more clearly. Collectors also look for striking quality and minting characteristics, such as how sharply the features were rendered during the minting process. A well-struck 1947 Lincoln wheat penny with a red shade can make for an attractive addition to a collection, even if it lacks rarity. Furthermore, some individuals collect coins from each year and mint combination, and a red-shaded 1947 Philadelphia issue is an essential part of completing a full Lincoln wheat penny set. Next up, we have the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny is a widely recognized and appreciated coin among collectors of American coinage. As part of the long-running Lincoln cent series, which began in 1909, this particular issue was struck at the Denver Mint, as denoted by the small D mint mark on the obverse side of the coin located just beneath the date. The Lincoln wheat penny holds a special place in United States numismatic history, not only because of its longevity in circulation, but also because of its meaningful design, which honors one of the most respected figures in American history, President Abraham Lincoln. The obverse design of the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny features a profile portrait of Abraham Lincoln facing right. This portrait was created by Victor David Brenner and was originally introduced in 1909 to commemorate the centennial of Lincoln's birth. The design was revolutionary at the time because it was the first time a real individual appeared on a regular issue American coin. The obverse also includes the words Liberty, the year 1956, and the national motto, In God We Trust. On the reverse side, the coin showcases the traditional wheat ears on either side of the inscriptions 1 cent and United States of America. This design was used from 1909 until 1958, making the 1956 penny one of the later examples of this beloved style. With a mintage of over 1 billion coins, the 1956 penny is not rare, but its value comes from its historical importance, visual appeal, and the condition in which it is preserved. A coin in good condition like the one described here indicates that while the coin has been in circulation, it has not suffered severe damage or heavy wear. Many of the design details remain visible, including the lines in Lincoln's hair, the contours of his face, and the wheat stalks on the reverse. The good condition of this coin makes it more desirable to collectors who appreciate well-preserved examples from this era. The 1950s were a dynamic time in American history marked by economic growth, technological advancements, and cultural change. Coins from this period, including the 1956 Lincoln wheat penny, are part of the daily life and economic fabric of mid-20th century America. These coins were used by millions of Americans for routine transactions, from buying a newspaper to purchasing a candy bar. Each coin carries with it a piece of that history, making it a small but tangible artifact of the nation's past. Collectors of Lincoln wheat pennies often seek to build complete year and mint mark sets, and the 1956 penny is an essential part of such collections. Because it is widely available in circulated and uncirculated conditions, collectors have the opportunity to choose examples that meet their preferences and budgets. The coin's copper composition gives it a warm, rich color, which can vary depending on how it has been stored over the years. A good condition coin may display a mix of red and brown tones, indicating some degree of oxidation, while still retaining some of its original mint luster. The Denver Mint, where this coin was produced, has a long history of striking coins for general circulation. During the 1950s, the mint operated efficiently to meet the growing demand for coinage in a booming post-war economy. The large number of 1950-60 pennies that were produced reflects the economic activity of the time. Even though the coin is common, its individual characteristics, such as strike quality, color, and level of wear, can make it interesting to collectors and historians alike. Beyond its numismatic value, the 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny serves as a reminder of the enduring legacy of Abraham Lincoln. His image on the coin symbolizes leadership, perseverance, and the values of the American spirit. The wheat ears on the reverse design represent agriculture and prosperity, which were central to the country's identity during the early and mid-20th century. Though small in size, the coin carries significant symbolic weight. The good condition of this coin means it has survived the passage of time relatively well. It likely passed through the hands of countless individuals who used it in daily commerce, yet it managed to retain many of its original features. This is a testament to the durability of the coin's design and the care it may have received from those who handled it. Collectors today value coins not only for their rarity, but also for the stories they tell and the journey they have taken through time. Next up, we have the 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny. Is a well-known and appreciated coin within the long-standing Lincoln cent series. Minted at the San Francisco Mint, as indicated by the S mint mark, this coin carries historical and numismatic significance. It is part of the Wheat reverse design series, which ran from 1909 through 1958 and stands out due to its iconic design and connection to American history. The coin features the classic profile of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, a design that was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, this portrait has remained on the penny for more than a century and continues to symbolize Lincoln's enduring legacy. The reverse of the 1951 penny displays two wheat ears encircling the words 1 cent and United States of America. This wheat design is a tribute to American agriculture and prosperity, themes that were vital during the time of the coin's creation and continue to hold symbolic meaning. Above the central text, the motto E pluribus unum emphasizes the unity of the nation. The coin's simple yet powerful design makes it a favorite among collectors, especially those who focus on building complete year and mint mark sets. The 1951 penny was minted during a time of post-war economic growth in the United States. This period saw increased production and the distribution of coinage to meet the demands of a growing and mobile population. Over 90 million Lincoln cents were struck at the San Francisco Mint in 1951, making the coin common in circulation during its time. However, examples that remain in good or visually appealing condition, especially those with unique characteristics such as a strong red shade, are more prized among collectors today. This particular example of the 1951 Lincoln Wheat penny is noted for having a red shade, which indicates that the coin has retained much of its original copper luster. Coins with this coloration often have had limited exposure to moisture or contaminants and have likely been stored in relatively favorable conditions. The red tone gives the coin a vibrant appearance that enhances its visual appeal and makes it more desirable to those who value aesthetics as well as history. While some red-shaded coins are uncirculated or mint state, this coin's condition is not specified as such, but the red shade still suggests a higher level of preservation than a typical circulated example. Lincoln Wheat pennies from the San Francisco Mint carry a certain charm for collectors because the S mint mark adds an element of distinction and variety. During the mid-20th century, coins minted in San Francisco were often produced in smaller quantities compared to their Philadelphia and Denver counterparts. Although the 1951s had a relatively high mintage by historical standards, its value among collectors today is influenced by condition, eye appeal, and any unique toning or surface features. Red shaded coins like this one typically command more interest because of their attractive coloring and relative scarcity compared to more commonly found brown or mixed tone cents. When considering the broader context, the 1951s penny is a product of its time, reflecting the materials, minting techniques, and economic conditions of early 1950s America. The coin is made primarily of copper with a small mix of zinc and tin, a composition that gives it a distinctive color and weight. It also speaks to a time before the major metal composition changes that would affect the Lincoln cent in later decades, most notably the shift to zinc in the early 1980s. This coin has likely passed through many hands and been part of countless transactions over the years, from buying newspapers and candy to helping children begin their first coin collections. It has witnessed the daily life of Americans from the post-war years into the modern era, and now stands as a tangible link to that history. The preservation of its red shade means it has been somewhat protected through the decades, whether by chance or deliberate care. In addition to its visual and historical appeal, the 1951s Lincoln Wheat penny serves as an educational piece for those learning about coin collecting or American history. It introduces key concepts such as mint marks, coin grading, and preservation. It also encourages appreciation for the artistry and craftsmanship involved in coin design and production. The Wheat penny series is often the starting point for many collectors, and the 1951s is a common yet cherished part of that journey.